Hello my loves and welcome back to another video. So we are on the Osmo, the DJI, the Pocket 3 today, and I don't know how this is gonna go. Girlfriends, I potentially might have lost my vlogging camera, which I'm really praying that I haven't, and I don't think I have. I was on a shoot for the past 2 days. One of the shoots, I weirdly didn't take like a bag, I just took my suitcase because we had like 3 different looks that we had to style ourselves, and I have a feeling that I might have left it in the car, but I don't think I did because I can remember walking into the building with it. Either way, me and Jen have actually spent the morning like decluttering our apartment. It actually looks pretty messy behind me, and I don't know why, because it's not. I think this bedding's just like not looking right. That's Jed for you. Either way, we spent the whole morning obviously tidying the apartment and it's not turned up. So I'm thinking, where on earth is this camera? I'm sure it will turn up. I don't know why. I think that's because there's been so many things going on recently, which we'll of course get into, because we are indeed doing like a catch-up, Q&A, makeup style video. Me and Jed actually have date night tonight, which I'm very excited about because I haven't done one in the longest time. But when so many things are going on at once, I just start losing things, and I'm never one to lose things. Like last week or the week before, literally the day I went to the Maldives, I lost both my business bank cards. Yeah, not what I should be losing. So that was really, really bad, and had to order new ones. And then literally the day I came home, I found it. So I know it's in the apartment somewhere. I just physically can't see it right now. But anyways, let's jump straight into it. I think I just spoke that into existence, guys. The second I just stopped talking, I just got a message from my manager. Hold on. Hello.
Hi.
They've got it.
They've got it.
Oh my god. I've just started filming my YouTube video, and I was going, guys, like, because I'm filming on, you know, that DJI Pocket Osmo,
Yeah.
like, I've got one of them, and I was like, guys, like, I've lost it, like, what am I gonna do? I think it's in the apartment though, but it's the fact that they have it, lol. Oh my god.
No, they have it. Apparently he's found it and he's been trying to contact me, but I've had no missed calls.
Oh,
no
that's
text,
so weird.
No nothing. He said he has the camera with him, or he lives quite close to you.
Oh,
so
okay.
He can drop it off like completely free of charge.
Oh,
today,
no,
if you
bless.
want.
Yeah, that
So-
would actually be perfect. Your girl's getting her camera back. Manifesting that if you guys have lost anything, it will come back to you, fingers crossed. Okay, so to be fair, I've got such a mix of questions, which I'm very excited about. So some are like fun, some are a little bit deep. I don't want to say the word deep, but like variety. So we'll start off light, and it's, what sort of style are you going for this winter? And you know what? I don't know. That was really great. I'm gonna pop some inspo photos from my Pinterest board because I'm such a Pinterest girly. Like, I don't know about anyone else. I could spend hours scrolling on Pinterest. I absolutely love it. But I love that, like, the faux fur coats, like, that's very much me to a T. I feel like summer is where I have fun, and then autumn's kind of like where I love doing neutrals. I love like layered items of clothing and lots of like textures. I love textures on textures. Like, sometimes, like, for me, the crazier the better. I'm definitely a boot kind of girly. I really struggle with trainers in autumn. I don't know, unless you are just wearing jeans. Like, I love a skirt, and I do love the weather where, like, you know, when it's not super cold, that you can still have fun with your fashion, because there's nothing worse than like actually having to wear like a thick coat because it is so cold and then your outfit not being shown. I definitely think, like, over the years, I feel like I've become like more and more of a, like, not like a fashion girly, because I don't want to be like, oh my god, I've got such great fashion sense, because sometimes I don't even know what's going on with my own fashion sense. But I've definitely just really been enjoying it. Also, this is the 24-hour brow lamination. I did a little TikTok video on this the other day because it is so good. I don't know how to bring you in. Oh, okay, that's how we bring you in. I'm gonna do that. Is that better? Hold on. I feel like that's, yeah, we're gonna do this. This is a foundation that I've absolutely been loving at the moment. This is the Maybelline, the 30-hour Superstay. They actually repackaged this, and I went to an event a little while back about it, and really been enjoying this. I feel like if you want kind of that really full coverage effect, then use it with a beauty blender. Tonight I'm literally just gonna use a little fluffy brush. Looking at this monitor, I'm really praying that it's gonna be different on my laptop, because at the moment I feel like this is definitely not a camera for makeup videos, and I would absolutely love my Canon right now, but she's coming back to me. Next question was, when is your little business venture coming out, which I am so excited about. A little bit of context for those that don't really know or haven't heard like much that's been going on. So myself and Saffron, as in Jed's sister, Saffron, one of my really close friends, which is, it's such a weird dynamic that we have, because sometimes people are like, oh my god, you get on so well with your in-laws, and it's such like an unheard thing of, but we have such a great relationship, and I'm so grateful that we do have such a great relationship, because obviously for Jed, family's a big thing, and likewise. It was at the start of this year, I basically, I feel like I spoke about this in maybe a few Q&As, that I absolutely love influencing, but I really wanted like a passion project to sink my teeth into. And at the beginning of this year, or probably the end of, actually no, oh god, probably maybe November of last year, I started like dreaming, thinking, you know, what are the possibilities, like what could I do, what would I love to do, just like ballpark it, like not even ballpark, just sky's the limit, what you're gonna go for. I basically have a really big passion for something, and it's one of those things where I obviously really want to talk about it loads, but I don't want to give it away or what it is. Have a absolute passion for it, and I saw kind of like, not like a gap in the market, but I just thought like, you know what, there isn't really a place where I can shop said things executively, why is that word not coming out right, or it's not sounding right? Either way, like I love a lot of brands, but there wasn't like a specific brand that I knew that I absolutely loved the designs over and over again, and that I absolutely loved the quality and things like that. So I was like, you know what, I want to do that myself. I've got so many ideas. And then it was at the beginning of this year, and me and Saffron were having this conversation. I was like, oh, you know what, like if there's one thing that you could bring out, she's very much in the same boat. Like she's obviously been in the influencing industry for what, like I think she said like 10 plus years or 7, something like that, like absolutely crazy. And she was like, obviously she's got her acting going on, but she was like, I really want something to sink my teeth into. And I was like, oh, if there's one thing, what would it be? She said the exact same thing as me. And from that day, we were like, oh my god, we've got to do this together. It's going to be the best thing. And trust me, it is. Saying that though, starting a business has been possibly one of the toughest things that I have ever done, tried to accomplish, currently still trying to accomplish. I have never learned so much in a space of time, and there is still so much to learn. Like it's definitely one of those things where I'm still learning on the job, like day to day, little things from how to start your trademark or where to find your manufacturers and this, that and the other. In doing so, I have, oh my god, loved the process so much, and I love learning about it. Another thing though is you have literally got to prepare yourself for failure, because it will honestly happen time and time again, and you've just got to like kind of stay in that mindset of like, we just want to put out the best possible thing ever, the best designs, the best quality, like just so everything runs so smoothly. And obviously being first time business owners, we've had no external help, like we have literally done this off of our own back. So it has been that we have been extremely picky about the materials we've been using, the designs we've been selecting. Like we have scrapped so many things. So far we've scrapped 2 collections that we just weren't happy with. Things have gone wrong, things have literally blown up in our face, and we have just had to have like kind of picked ourselves up again and move on from it. So it's definitely been a work in progress, and we are now working to what should be our official launch, which is very exciting. And I don't want to jinx it, but all I'm going to say is like, you will see something by the end of the year, permitted that things go right and we are happy with what we're putting out, because again, we're not putting anything out that we are not happy with. Also, the little contour stick that I did just use, this is the Primark one, and this is in Chai, and you can see the actual state of this. It's so rusty, dusty, disgusting, but it is genuinely incredible, and I've used it for so, like the product has lasted me really well. I feel like choosing your blush is like choosing your personality or your characteristics each day. Like I never know what to go for, and oh my god, I've just realised these literally all look the same. Obsessed with the Rare Beauty blushes. I've got shade Happy, Hope and Bliss here, and I'm kind of maybe leaning towards Happy just because it's a little bit on that like rosy pink side. So yeah, all very exciting things. We're also kind of documenting the process as such, because we want to be kind of transparent and show you kind of like our ups and downs. We just think that would be like a really fun process to share with you guys, so stay tuned. Then I've got a little like I think they were called agony aunts, like you know when you give like relationship advicey question. So next question is, moving in with my boyfriend, about to live with mine, but I'm nervous. How did you know that it was the right time? How has living together changed your relationship? Oh, me and John have been living together for 2 years now, and when our lease ends here, it will then be 2.5, I think maybe 2 years 9 months if we want to get into specifics. But yeah, so we moved in together. It was kind of a bit of a spur of a moment thing. Not really. I was in my 2nd year of uni, and I was basically moving out of my uni house, and I really wanted to like move into a high rise. I feel like at that time, like I was still doing uni, but I was really taking my content creation seriously, and I just kind of like wanted my own space to be able to like do exactly that. And I said to my boyfriend, just like literally on and off whim, I was like, how do you feel about like moving to London? Like, is there anything that you've kind of ever thought of, or like anything, I don't know, like does it tickle your fancy? And he was like, oh my god, yes, like just having his own space and like working in his own environment as well. Obviously he was living at home with his parents, and it was like we just did it so quickly, because I think we were 2 years into our relationship then, so it wasn't exactly like we'd been together for super long. And I don't know if we necessarily like knew it was the right time. I just think because we were long distance, it just made the most sense for us, because all we wanted to do on the weekends, or like all we were doing, was obviously like traveling to either one another. And it just, I don't know, it felt like the fun thing to do. Like I guess you could say we didn't think too much into it, which I mean definitely could have gone either one or two ways, but we were just really like solid on our relationship, and we were really happy with the way that things are going. So it just did kind of feel like the right step because we were just so confident and happy. As far as like our relationship, I don't really think much has changed. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, we'll have little quarrels about like, oh my god, you've left the toilet seat up, or oh my god, like the room's really messy, or Imogen, you've left your clothes absolutely everywhere. So I guess there's conversations that we necessarily didn't have before moving in, but I wouldn't be so scared as to your relationship completely changing unless like you're not really compatible, like living with one another, which is obviously a really scary thought, but you'll never know if you don't try. And if it doesn't work out, then that's not anyone's fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is getting really sad, and I don't mean for it to get sad, but like on a real one, it's like with any situation, you've got to try it, except if it does go wrong, or oh my god, amazing, it has gone right. I can assure you that you'll actually find a lot of fun in it, because it's the IKEA trips that you get to do, the food shops, like there's a lot of, as much as like, yeah, you new conversations open, like, yeah, you'll have a few quarrels here and there because you are obviously living together 24/7, and that can be really intense, but at the same time it's so fun because it's basically like one big sleepover with your partner for potentially maybe the rest of your life, which is crazy, but it is really fun. And yeah, it made mine and Joe's relationship better because we could see each other more and we got really comfortable around one another. Moving in just did us really good. That's all I can say. This is the L'Oreal. I think it's like I think it's also part of the 24-hour range. I want to say it's in dark brown or medium brown. I'm not quite sure what range it is from because I've literally, like, all the packaging has basically come off this now because I've used it so much. But yeah, I love these like little precise brow pencils, like, you know, and it's literally teeny tiny. I will say I am actually quite sad because my favourite bronzer did smash on the way back from the Maldives. Oh, that's a lot of powder. Gotta go and pick myself up a new one before I head out on Monday, which will bring me to my next point of call. So the next question is any upcoming travel plans. Now, girlfriend, you probably have seen from the YouTube videos, we have done a lot of traveling this year, which I am so happy, grateful that I've done, because I think there was one thing that I came out of uni and I was like, all I want to do is not necessarily like travel or backpack, but like I've always just absolutely loved traveling, experiencing new cultures, like just seeing the world in general. Like, I've always absolutely loved it. I knew that I definitely wanted to take a lot of trips this year, so I've definitely ticked that off the list, which I'm more than happy about. I've got one more trip coming up for the rest of the year, then I do think that I am gonna maybe take a break from the traveling, which I feel fortunate even like to say, but just in the sense that I have been out of the country so much recently that, I mean, hence the date night tonight, because I really haven't seen my boyfriend much at all, even though we do live together. So I'm feeling really excited for that. But the trip on Monday is Malibu, which I'm so excited about. I've never been to Malibu. I've done LA, we did that at the start of the year, that was with Saf in Feb, and I'm actually going with one of my best friends, Romy, and we are so excited to go together because we've done like European holidays together with our girl group, but we have obviously never really like ventured further, so I'm very, very excited. And that is another brand trip, but we're actually attending a 2-day conference, so we're working with Cetaphil, which is so cool. So see, a lot of my brand trips, they are that I'm working with the brand on something. For example, Maldives, we were working on the new collection, taking like lots of photos and content for them, whereas this one, like, we're actually going to a conference, so I feel very business-like. I'm actually going to do a shopping trip tomorrow because I actually haven't done a shopping trip in a really long time. All my clothes have now gone autumn, and Malibu is apparently still 28 degrees, and I'm like, I don't know what to wear. So I'm very excited for that. Very excited to see what we get up to. It's very, I think it's quite like sciencey, technological. We'll learn a lot about skincare, we'll learn a lot about what our skin needs and what it doesn't need. So I'm very excited maybe to bust some myths, and of course I'll be taking you guys along with me, so we'll see what we find out together. But yeah, that is maybe perhaps the final trip of the year. I say that though, watch me be out of the country in a few weeks again, but no, I do just want to like stick some roots down, really knuckle down, especially like I say with the whole business side of things. It's really going to start amping up as we get to that launch date. This is probably like the most bougiest product I own, and you can definitely probably get cheaper alternatives, but I absolutely love this little blush. It's very compact and mini. This is in the shade 50, I want to say. It's the Luminous Silk blushes, and they just look so pretty on the skin. I feel like I'm going to use them all year round. I have pretty much used this the entire summer. Moving on to probably like a more deeper one, which funny enough, I actually have filmed this Q&A before. Not these exact questions, but I filmed one a while back and someone asked the same question and I answered said question, and it basically led me to cry a hell of a lot. And I thought, you know what, maybe now's not the best time to be posting that, because I think my answer in itself, like, I don't know, it's not a sensitive topic for me as such. It's just something that like I think a lot of us do go through and we fluctuate with it and we don't know where we stand, and then I feel like, let's debunk it, let's get into it. Okay, so the question is body image and food struggles, please, with like 2 little love hearts. So with that question, I feel like I don't want to ramble on too much. I'm going to try and give my most concise answer to this. There isn't an answer, and I don't think for me there ever will be like a final destination, because I think it's something that I'll just always kind of like struggle with. I think even coming from like a dancing background, everything was based on aesthetic. Ballet, there was a few comments made to me during my dance college times, like I feel like I probably might have touched on that at some point, which obviously it does hinder your thoughts about yourself, and you've got to very much be thick-skinned and strong mind when you are even in the dance industry, because you will just get like, the way that you get better, you get torn down again and again and again. And the dancing industry needs to be studied, because there is just some kind of, I don't know, like it's so normal just for people to crap on your head. I feel like, especially when I was younger, I never really struggled with necessarily like body image. I was just, it wasn't something that I even like cared about, or something that really kind of entered my brain. I was just going through it, eating what I wanted to. I was also exercising a hell of a lot. Like when I was younger, I'm talking swimming, gymnastics, dance, like I think even horse riding at one point. Like I was doing everything under the sun. I think Wednesdays were my only free days of the week sometimes. So it's something that I never really even, I don't know, it just didn't come into my conscience, because I was happy, I was healthy, I was living my life. Do you know what I mean? And of course, as you get older, you kind of gain that bit of a conscience as to, you do just start comparing. I don't know what age it happens, but it's just kind of natural. This is the thing, when I answer this question, I just like my head warps and I get wrapped in I don't know what. I think if I was to pinpoint when I really started struggling, I did a shoot not so long ago, and it was a bikini shoot, which obviously, I don't know, like, because there are several different models, you do, like, in my head, I was just comparing, which you shouldn't do, because I feel like people say that, like, jealousy is a thief of joy, and when you are comparing, like, that is all you start to do. You're like, oh, I want her legs, I want her really toned stomach, like, I want this, that, and the other. And from that, I just spoke to myself so negatively. I have definitely spoken about it freely, that my legs are probably like my biggest insecurity. In social media at the moment, I'm talking from like a consumer point, like I see so many self-love pages, which I absolutely adore and I love. That's all I want to do. I want to self-love, but I'm struggling to get there with certain aspects of my body. And it's like, okay, well, if I can't get there, then should I do something about it? I think that's the best way I'm going to put it. I want to love myself to the absolute most. And I listen to all these amazing people, these really inspirational people, and I love what they do and I want to get there. In my brain, I can't seem to get there, even though there's all these amazing like influences around you. I don't know why. And then in my head I'm thinking, okay, well, if I can't self-love, then do you change? But then is it wrong to want to change? Like, I don't know, like, this is what I'm on about. Like, I think there's so many different viewpoints nowadays. I just get so stuck. I don't know, I think I need to like still take some time in terms of reflection and kind of like, but I think to answer the question is, one, I definitely really struggle with body image. Bodies fluctuate every month, and I know it, and I appreciate that, but I can be extremely hard on myself, and I know that. So then in my head I'm like, well, if I know that, then I should be kinder to myself, but I still get caught in these same loops. In terms of an answer, I'm definitely not the person to be coming to. It's something that I'm still struggling with, so when I find the answer, girlfriend, I will tell you. So it's a very loaded question, but I equally don't think I've let it super like hinder my confidence. For example, I've literally just been in the Maldives on a Carnihini shoot, of which we were in bikinis, and I was completely fine because I felt good in myself. But then other days I'm like, oh my god, no, Imogen. So moral of the story is, social media is fake, and behind those cameras or behind those pictures where I am smiling, there's a million thoughts going on in my head. So take comfort in that, because we are all in the same boat. Don't really know how to come back from that one. This is the Made Up by Mario palette, which I am so, this feels so wrong now, like, you know, when you touch like a really deep subject and then you've got to come back and you're like, ha, like, I don't even know what this palette is called, but it's basically just got all of these shades in, and they are the absolute best. I take this palette everywhere with me because it's just one of those ones that you can pick up and rely on. Okay, last question is, where do you see your career going as well as your life? What's the next chapter? What's the question? These are my favorite lip liners. Basically, I've got, this isn't my shade. The one that I do use is in my current bag, but I just wanted to touch on these because these are the xoxo, I think they're called hot liners, and they are incredible. They've got hyaluronic acid in it. They just run on beautifully and are gorgeous. Equally though, the Kylie Cosmetics, that's obviously more pencil style. I absolutely love these, and this is in the shade Smitten. So career-wise, I obviously really want to delve more into this business stuff, and it's a chapter that I really want to be able to share with you guys. Kind of like document, style it. Like, I majorly look up to people like oh my god, I never know whether to say it's Chrissy Stella or Chrissy Chella, but I think it's Chella, who obviously owns Uneractive, and then Grace Beverly, who obviously owns Tala. Like, I really look up to them in the sense that like they're very like businessy, just girl boss energy. I absolutely love it. Saying that though, I basically did the shoot the other day, and part of the job was that I had to like kind of host, and I loved it. I loved hosting so much because I think I love talking to people. So as I was doing it and interviewing, I don't know, I just found like a kind of like a knack for it, that I could like, because I'm always interested in other people and knowing about them, that I could quite bounce off them quite quickly and think of questions to ask them and have that rapport. So that was something that I really enjoyed. So maybe something like that in the future as well. And then in terms of chapters, so me and Jed actually, like, our lease here is up in March, and we'll be moving to Brighton, which I feel like I'm actually sound like a broken record. I feel like I would have spoken about it before, but we were kind of very much umming and ahhing it, whereas it's going to become a thing. So we've obviously, well, I personally have been renting for 4 years, whereas Jed will by the time would have been renting for 2.5 years, which renting is amazing. It's great. In London, it is honestly so expensive. So at this rate, we pay so much money on our rent that we could maybe potentially afford a mortgage. So we had a mortgage advisor, you know, all the adulty stuff. One of Jed's closest friends is actually a mortgage advisor, which is very handy. We had a meeting with him. And to be fair, that's something that, like, obviously when I go through that process of buying a house, looking at houses, if you guys want, like, not obviously like I don't know how to, like, any advice, please don't let me know if you need that video, because I definitely wish I had a video like that when I was going through all this process and what I needed to do in order to even start looking at houses, because there's a whole process to that as well, which we'll still also have to go through. So let me know if you want me to document that as well. So we're moving to Brighton, which is scary, fun, exciting, because obviously my family lives in Nottingham right now. So to you guys, it's probably like, oh my god, that's a really big compromise that you are moving to Brighton, which I do think it is. But at the same time, my family is here, there, and everywhere. Like, it's kind of the norm that we're not in the same place, which sounds really strange. And ideally, oh my god, I would love that if we were all in the same place, because we've also never really experienced that, because my dad's worked so hard and he's always in a different country. Or obviously my sister was at uni for when I was ages like mid-teens. The whole rest of our family's in Wales. Like, we're kind of here, there, and everywhere, and that's like our norm. So for me to like go to Brighton, it's like, oh my god, yay, like so exciting. So I'm really, really excited for that, and I'm excited for like a house life, getting a car. I might be starting looking to look at cars in January, which is really exciting because I haven't had a car for just shy of maybe 2 years now, or maybe a year. Over a year. I sold it when I kind of like knew that I was going to be in London, because there is just no point in having a car when you're in London. Whereas when I'll be in Brighton, I would definitely be needing a car. So I'm potentially looking at getting a car just maybe like a month or two before I'm in Brighton, so that we can obviously get around looking at house viewings, things like that. I actually love driving so much, so I am absolutely buzzing for that. And yeah, we'll start to look at houses, which is absolutely crazy. Definitely a big chapter for me and Jed, but one that we're both looking forward to. I think one thing about London life is we absolutely love it, and I feel like we actually will miss it loads, but at least from Brighton it's only an hour on the train. I think we're just excited about like even having like potentially more space, because we love our apartment. We've got a 2-bed apartment, but in London you will find one thing is that you get no storage room. No storage room exists in London. So we just have stuff absolutely everywhere, like stuff on stuff. Obviously Jed loves cooking, so he's got lots of cooking utensils. Our kitchen is like a lovely size, but there's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, where our storage should be, there isn't. But whoever designed this apartment just did not think that the person moving in would have any stuff coming with them. This is the panoramic mascaras from L'Oreal, and this is also another one of my holy grails. These are my products that I use again and again and again. So yeah, lots of exciting next chapters. Who was I saying this to? I think I was even talking about it on the podcast. I am such a fiend for change. I don't know why, I just absolutely love it. Like, I think new chapters just excite me so much, whereas I think to a lot of people it really scares them. For me, I'm like, oh my god, give me change. Like, I don't know about anyone else. Please let me know if you're the exact same as me in the comments below. So yeah, really excited, really buzzed. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Apologies that it got a little bit deep there in the middle, but I don't know, it's a conversation that I definitely want to start opening up more, because I think with me having a social media platform, I think a lot of the times like people will look up to me and maybe see like a polished product, which is far from the case, let me tell you. But I know that I'm not super vulnerable with you guys, so I want to make sure that I'm doing that and just keeping it real. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video. Make sure to comment, subscribe, like down below, all the good fun jazz. Really sorry if this camera wasn't really made for this type of video, because as I'm looking in the camera, my face looks so washed out, pale. But if I was like to take a photo right now, she's looking quite colourful. Colourful? Just vibrant. But yeah, like I said, make sure to comment, subscribe, like down below. Hopefully see you in the next one. Thank you so much for staying this far. If you did so, I love you lots, and have a lovely rest of your weekend.